With us now, Chris Hahn, NewsNation political contributor, host of the Aggressive Progressive podcast. Lauren Wright, associate researcher, scholar, and lecturer in politics and public affairs, Princeton University. All right, Hahn, I'm starting with you because you're remote, so we'll end with Lauren. Next three big events involving Trump. July 1st, SCOTUS ruling on his presidential immunity claims. The media will skewer Trump justices. July 11th, Trump sentencing in the New York business records case. And one can imagine that the very Democratic judge now has a lot of pressure on him to go very tough on Donald Trump. Massive coverage for the week after that. July 15th, the RNC in Milwaukee, and Republicans normally have a way of screwing things up. You never go wrong underestimating that ability. By the end of that, is anybody going to remember this debate? And therefore, maybe Democrats should just sort of like wait a little while on all the replace Biden talk, huh?
They will never forget this debate. The problem for Biden was what happened last night proved to people what people have been saying about Biden and made people distrust what the Biden people have been saying about Biden. And I don't think there's any coming back from that. That's why I think the New York Times is right. That's why I think a very difficult conversation needs to be had very soon with the president of the United States.
Lauren, fair to say we're in uncharted waters, right? The only probably parallels would be LBJ in '68, and then when Richard Nixon was approached by members of his own party, his own congressional delegation that came and said, all right, it's time to go, right? This would be the question. The only people who can do this and talk about this in this way to Joe Biden are going to be fellow Democrats who also have skin in the game, perhaps like Hahn's old boss, the majority leader in the Senate.
Sure.
If Joe Biden gets shellacked, which is the worry here because of the debate, how much will that affect all the down ballot races, the House, the Senate, and the governor's races?
It will affect them massively. I will acknowledge that Donald Trump is also down ballot poison, and that was shown in 2022. But yes, it's a huge problem. And I think the question about the strategy is just showing how Democrats have ceded the ethical high ground. They've been saying we're the campaign of truth, but they've been lying for a year about Biden's capability. That's very plain to see and very true. They've been the campaign message of democracy, but they seem to be very happy to shove this person down everyone's throats who polling overwhelmingly shows people are unsure and very worried about.
All right, so this is some of the panic, and I think it's worthwhile showing the reactions in real time to the debate performance. Take a look.
It's kind of a DEFCON 1 moment.
We saw last night why this race has been close and why I fear Donald Trump will be the next president of the United States unless things change.
Yes, there was a slow start, but it was a strong finish.
Whether it be infrastructure, the man who we saw on the stage tonight, is that the other guy on the debate every day?
Yeah, the other guy's terrible, he's terrible, he's terrible. Hahn, you can't beat somebody with nobody. We have that list of all of the possible Democrats. I'm not going to ask you who you think should be picked. I'm asking, why would anybody who wants a political future, Gavin Newsom included, why would anybody pick up this baton when you have no national name recognition, you've got a very shortened time frame to try to go up against Donald Trump, and you've got to deal with everything that Lauren just said, which is the DNC and the media, and Democrats at all protected Joe Biden and have absolutely no credibility with the American people.
I think the short time frame actually will benefit whoever the Democrats pick. Not a lot of time to break them down, not a lot of time to make them public enemy number one. And they should run because they would win, right? Andy Beshear would beat Donald Trump by 25 points. The Republicans would not win the Senate. Democrats would pick up the House of Representatives. He should run. Gretchen Whitmer would beat Donald Trump by 20 points. She's turned what was turning a red state into a blue state. There's a lot of good options,
there's no
and they should
polling
run.
that says that. Hahn, there's no polling that says that. But I will give Lauren the last word here. Is there a lane at this point because Donald Trump is so unpopular?
I don't know, but I will tell you one thing. It's so insulting to Kamala Harris, all these back and forths about who could it possibly be. She's the person.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.